it will automatically be cut. They won't let us go.
Not assessed value, actual dollars.
It also limits our bonds, and it's got a few other things in
It's
it.
got something about TIFs in it too.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
We have tips are gonna be off too, they're gonna have to be readjusted.
Yeah, we're gonna have to redo tips in 181.
Yeah.
Yep, it's got something about TIFs in it.
So as far as the 181, if that goes through and it changes my valuation,
It will change
It
your
will.
valuation.
if it goes through, it will change my valuation.
Yes.
Right.
The good news is on my budget, this is year one, we don't have people hired, we don't have people in place. We're just gonna have to make the cuts wherever we can and make it work.
Yeah, but it isn't gonna affect yours a whole bunch,
Right.
not like it will the total county.
And we have, the current budget that we put together is 100,000 less expenses than revenue.
And plus, his revenue doesn't show the 65,000 that he's gonna be getting for an ARPA money, but it can't because we've already received that $65,000. So it's not gonna show up on his, but he does have an additional 65,000 that he'll be receiving from ARPA funds, which isn't gonna show up on his budget because it's already reflected in the,
Neither will the ambulance,
no.
because that's our
Right.
funds.
We just have to do, when we actually expend that amount, we'll have to just do an amendment for that.
You're right.
So I think, the numbers we have, we reduced the staffing, and we explained that to the hospital, that we're reducing that staffing, which the plan was for that extra staff is to have a person in place to be able to take transfers when the hospital needed. But if they're not willing to fund that position, because it's providing them the service, not the county service, we're not gonna provide that person. So they've been told that, they understand that. We're just gonna do the best we can, but to make sure the county's covered first, if that makes sense.
Your problem is in the future, equipment, you're gonna have a tough time taxing enough to get equipment. Because right now, you don't have any equipment much in your budget.
Well, we have that, we budgeted that 150,000 for purchases.
Yeah,
But the bad part is if this 1124 passes, the 102.5% includes your budget too.
right.
So, which means our whole countywide budget can't go over 102.5%, which is 2.5% from one year to the next. So that will include you as well.
I don't think that'll affect me because we have that capital in the budget. And if we don't spend it this year, it'll carry forward. So it shouldn't change my budgeted amounts.
Still
As
have to
long as you
budget.
can, maintain within that $150,000 all your capital improvements.
You still have to re-budget those again the next year.
Right.
So even though the money is there, you still have to re-budget it.
So then that 102% could become a factor.
Right.
It could for everybody.
Yeah. It won't first year.
No.
I'm fine with
Well,
next year.
their theory is that the county supervisors and auditor are spending money willy-nilly and that we're wasting it.
Because if I don't spend that, so say we wanted to buy a truck
Right.
4 years from now and we saved, $100,000 for 4 years, we have $400,000 sitting there to purchase equipment. Now I bring that into a budget, it's gonna be an
Right,
increase.
it's
but-
going,
The board would just have to
How-
cut from somewhere else.
How would
and they-
one of the big expenses we have, of course, is salaries.
Yeah.
How would that affect the compensation board with what they ruled on?
compensation board right now, there's
But
two,
would we be able to change what they, so
No.
that raise has to go through no matter what?
Well,
No.
no, you can
No.
still,
you can go zero.
you can still cut it, it's just gotta be across the board. So,
And actually, they got two different bills they're working on in, I forget which place now, but to get rid of the compensation board.
yeah, they have two different ones going.
They got one in the House and one in the Senate to get rid of the compensation board.
Well, one's to get rid of it, the other one's that it still has a compensation board, but they have to explain exactly why they've come up with the figures they've come up with.
So if they do this 102%, does that go retroactive too? Or is that
Yes.
just-
Yes, or it will be, it affects this fiscal year we're working on.
It affects 24, 20,
No, 24, which is the year we're working
right,
on.
24. We always get that
We
screwed up.
won't talk about that.
No. That's confusing enough. So what'd you put in for revenue, Val?
So on the revenue, we have the,
12?
the 50,000 is what we're projecting for the hospital, which currently we're projecting that at 100,000. We have our call revenue. We have some money in there for grants, which we just basically carried forward from what we've done in the past, in the tax levy, to give us a total revenue of $2,012,000.
So the,
$2,012,000.
the 800,000 that the city was taking in, is that about what they took in on the ambulance? Or
You've
that's
got-
not gonna go in here anymore? That's
We-
still
Yeah.
lost?
They got
We projected about
675.
800,000 between Algona and for the two hub revenue, but that included that GEMT dollars, which is that grant program for Medicare, Medicaid reimbursement. That Medicare, Medicaid reimbursement is based on last year's information paid on this year. So being as we're starting a new main service, they haven't verified yet if we can use existing data to receive GMT year one.
But the 675 you have in here, that's from the revenue for ambulance
Yes.
calls.
But I reduced that down a little bit,
Yeah,
Jack, just
yeah.
because I'm not
No, I
positive on that
understand.
GEMT yet, and I did
Yeah.
not want to be short on
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Now the expenses too, you know, like the insurance and stuff, you know,
That's,
at this point it's an estimate too, because,
well, and we don't know insurance yet anyway, so.
right.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to, you know, Penny saying does, saying 10%, we might have to make adjustments, raise the deductible or do something to eat up that 10%.
I projected, you know, high on that too, because I don't know who's gonna have family insurance, who's not. So
Right.
I'm sure that the number's probably gonna be higher than what actual will be.
Yeah.
We have a good fund balance in the insurance, so I'm not too worried. I don't think we'll have to do the 10%, but we'll probably have to do 4.
Do something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all gonna depend on what the usage is and how much it would pull down that fund balance.
Yeah. Well, last time we looked at it, we weren't pulling the fund balance down. We were
Still.
keeping up. So,
Still keeping up, you know. All right. For now, yours is probably about as good as it can get.
I think we're about as good as we can get, and I appreciate I know we kind of dumped a bunch on Tammy to get this all set up, but
We got it
we
done.
got her done. She got it done.
I was kind of
She asked me questions, but she did
Yeah.
all the work.
We had to figure it out together, but I think we got it.
For now, until it changes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And we combined some of the things that I had separated and stuff, but overall total dollars matches what I originally had versus what she had, except for what we reduced the salaries.
So I think we're all good. The fund 26,000 was an existing fund for EMS. We just never used it because we didn't have an EMS levy. So we just had to get the funds.
It was just
so
laying
that
around?
We could use it, yeah. It was laying there, but it was inactive and not ready for use. So we had to get it.
Good. Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, I think your question's how
Busy, you got less work now that we didn't participate, you know, you can just work harder on this.
on this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm done with this part. On to the next thing. Okay, we'll
Thanks.
see what happens. Thank you.
yep,
See you later.
yep.
See ya,
Okay, can we go to mental health now, please?
We don't have any.
I'm afraid we have too much. So, the problem with this mental health budget is by code, we have to have a mental health advocate,
Yeah, we don't have one right now.
and we don't have one.
Right,
And so, when you get into your mental health, I think I put a letter in there.
Yep.
That came from Melissa Lear and from Care Connections. She is saying that we could enter into a contract with Winnebago County to share their advocate, because it's been, 6 months now since we've applied and haven't gotten any applications
right.
back for an advocate. Nobody's applying. So, we need to do something. So we need to figure out if this is the way we want to go, if you want to keep advertising, what you want to do.
So if we contract with them and then a year down the road, we do get someone that's interested, are we stuck with that contract with Winnebago or can we drop that?
I don't know.
You can do
What-
a yearly
What does
contract.
this contract say here?
We've done it
Oh, it
before.
says this agreement shall take effect on and remain in effect unless terminated by any party as specified above. And it says, Kossuth County may terminate this agreement at any time, and this agreement shall be considered terminated at the time a permanent advocate has been determined and appointed
Okay.
in Kossuth County. So,
Okay.
I think it's in our best interest just to do it, and that
Yeah.
way we have somebody and we follow the law.
okay, so then,
You'll have to put it on the
put on the
agenda.
agenda for next week.
Yeah,
And then, I'll talk to Melissa and find out what
What?
that's gonna cost, so I can put that into the budget.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so then, I will take out of here and put in my packet to add to the agenda next week.
So you had 51,000 in there last year.
No, that's for, the other one.
Oh, the other one?
Yeah, that's for Anna.
Okay. So what, I opened the wrong tab?
No, we have two. We have,
Mental health?
yeah, we have Anna that does the, whatever she does.
Yeah,
And then,
but hers
the
gets
advocate.
paid for out of a grant, doesn't it?
No,
It doesn't?
uh,
Huh,
we get the reimbursement from the region.
yeah, that's what I'm. For a year. And they might continue to do it because they got more money, you know, to
Yeah,
do
I
it.
have to touch base with Carmen in Palo Alto County.
Yeah, because I thought they were gonna keep on paying for it if they could.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from her, so I'll reach out to her and find out. But I couldn't really give her an amount till I know what we're
Yeah.
gonna do, but I'll check with.
Yeah, Carmen's the one doing the books.
Okay. All right, so we have to find that out. Let's see, what else do I have?
Well, when I was in Des Moines, one guy told me that we should actually have a cheaper budget in the county now because we are not spending $47 per capita on mental health.
Because that happened 4 or 5 years ago.
I know,
That's not anything new,
but they thought they did us a big favor, and they did.
but that happened so many years ago, you can't bring that up now. I mean, that's all water under the bridge.
And then engineer, do we wanna, so I didn't know if you wanted to talk to him or not. I did not specifically tell him he was gonna be on the agenda, but he, I think, put information on your
Well,
desks.
he sent us that letter, he redid his budget.
And he submitted it to me, so I gave you printouts of the new amounts that he gave me. I wasn't sure if you wanted to talk to him about any of that or not. I know Kyle wanted to talk, anything he wanted to talk in person when he was back, so.
Yeah,
I don't know if it needs to be talked about since he's already adjusted it or
I
not.
think Carter expressed some concern with him not being able to be here for it, that he did want a chance to meet in person as well, so I think any discussion we have with him should be tabled for another time. That
Well, if this bill doesn't go through, there isn't gonna be another time, because I have to have it to the paper by Friday.
yeah, I'm saying later this week because Kyle will be back tomorrow, and then
But you guys know how much work I have to do to get the budget ready?
No, I wasn't here when all this happened. Is this what you instructed Doug to do? And I'm kind of reading that this is what he did,
yeah,
so if this is what you instructed as a board that day, then this is what's gonna go into the budget. Am I correct in assuming that?
That's already been into the budget, because that's what he gave me.
Okay, and so what is there to talk about?
I don't know if he had, it was just if there was an in-person conversation that needed to be had, that's what would happen, but
I'm just
I mean,
saying,
if he-
now,
if
for the
the-
sake of getting the budget done, this is what we got to
As
work
far as
with.
I'm concerned, he changed it per
Yeah.
the couple of the supervisors' requests, and so, I mean, I think he made the adjustments that he was instructed to do, and as far as I'm concerned, it's,
This is it, as far as
it.
I'm concerned, unless you say, no, we're gonna change
you
it,
know,
and then he has
and
to
the
come back
problem
up.
with it is like you said, next year, the increase is gonna be that much higher because of what a couple of supervisors wanted him to do, trying to micromanage his, his office.
For the sake of Tammy, can I just say, this is the budget we're gonna deal with?
Yeah.
Well, it's
Me it is.
already in there. I already
Okay,
put it in there.
then
I
this
get-
is it.
My thing is, if tomorrow this does not pass, I have to work on my budget, and I will be here all night
Mm-hmm.
in order to get it done, to get it to the paper. Because I have to enter every single thing that's in here in the Department of Revenue site.
Right, and you're gonna have to make an adjustment on insurance without knowing the number, and I would
Correct.
suggest that you put 5% in.
I would say drop it down to 5% for now.
Is that all right with you?
Yeah, I can add 5%.
Because the recommendation is 10, and I think that we can adjust something
We'll have
else.
to adjust it accordingly to
Yep.
eat up a little bit of the fund balance and make some other changes.
What-
And if it passes tomorrow, then we're all good, then we have time, you
Right.
know, but.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, or it's still on hold, I can't wait any
No,
longer.
you
We
can't.
won't make the March 31st deadline if it doesn't go through.
So at the
You're
present-
saying, you said you have to have that ready to
I
go
have-
by this Friday?
I have to have the paper, well, the deadline is noon on Monday to have it to the paper for Algona, but it's Friday for Bancroft and
So we basically
Sway
were
City.
pretty much on hold until we see if
What
that
happens
passes, and
tomorrow.
then we're gonna have to come in, we're
What-
gonna have to really crunch.
She's gonna have to figure what we got right now,
Yeah.
because by the time she compiles all the numbers and get them in, it's gonna be Friday.
Yeah, it'll be Friday.
So right now, this is what we got to work with.
Which insurance are you talking about the 5 or 10% raise for? Is that health or general like liability insurance?
health.
They suggested 10%, but we cut it back to 5 that we're gonna put in the budget, and we'll deal with it then.
But that came from Walmart, the 10%.
Right.
And then they've always been way higher than what we ever
Yeah.
did. We always cut it back considerably over what they recommended.
Yeah, and I don't have, obviously I don't have any papers in front of me. Is that anything that was sent out or like in our folder, I guess, or can it be sent via email to us to look at? This is the first I'm hearing about it, I guess.
I've got nothing but a
Doug,
That's
suggestion.
just word of mouth by Doug.
Yeah,
And I don't know why Doug hasn't brought that in yet, but we need to,
I think he just got it because he came up yesterday
Okay.
and told me that he had, or I asked him and he had
so
said
we
that.
maybe should, if he's, as soon as he has it, we should probably come back in and.
We could call him now and have him come up and talk to him about it.
Well, I don't know if he'll have the spreadsheet done yet.
no.
Do we have a spreadsheet from last year handy? Cause I know they've always recommended strongly, like, I think Jack said that, so that's fair, but, I don't know if we really need 5% even because I haven't seen the numbers with the spreadsheet, of course, that's a big factor there, so it seems to me like we're shooting in the dark here.
It changes every year. It all depends on what the usage is. And some years
Well,
we've
and
had
then your
some big.
reinsurance and it depends on
Right.
the government
I
programs.
mean, there was a couple of years we had 2 or 3 people with some pretty bad cancer that, hit us pretty hard.
I didn't keep any from last year.
I mean, I'm not gonna speculate without seeing the spreadsheet to see, where it comes in, because that changes drastically from year to year.
Well, if we cut down too far what we recommend, if it is something that we have to do, then we have to drastically change the program. That's not good either. So I'd rather be a little higher on our recommendation than too cheap, because I'm hoping for a 2% increase.
Like I said, I'm not gonna speculate without seeing that
Or
spreadsheet.
are you thinking budgeting 5, but maybe increasing it less after the budget is set?
I hope to do 2, but we're gonna budget 5 because we have to get it printed.
We still got IT. I was wondering why you're closing all your stuff up.
IT, we're gonna forget him. That's not a very important function.
And then other departments.
Yeah.
No, I don't have it.
I
I thought I had it in my book last year, but I don't.
Well, I tried to explain I'd rather put 5% in and use it, and let's just hope that we can do a 2% increase.
Well, and this is just worst case scenario,
Right.
that nothing happens. But this is my guess, and this is only a guess. The only way that 1124 can go through is if they extend the budget deadline to April 30th.
Yep.
Because otherwise there's not enough time.
No.
And the only way that it can be extended is if they pass 181. So, because some counties have already published
Right.
and are just gonna have to redo things, because to meet deadlines. So, if they think that 1124 even has a chance, this is gonna go through because there's no choice.
Yeah.
I wish they could make a decision on.
I know. And then
Well,
why
I'm
would
just
they
saying, if they
adjourn
could make a
already?
decision to push out the deadline, just for the sake of, we don't know, the ball is still in the air, if they could just make a decision and say,
Yeah.
all right, we're pushing out the
Yeah.
deadline.
Yeah.
They haven't done that though.
I know.
Our
That's
hands
what-
are tied. We have to publish this Friday.
Yeah.
Well,
Tammy, do you know what the punishments are if we don't hit the deadline?
use last year's taxes, budget, yeah, we have to use last year's amounts.
I don't think anybody'd be very happy with us.
No.
So we're gonna publish it.
Unless somebody said that it's supposed to be on tomorrow, but I
I wouldn't count on
haven't
it.
seen it anywhere, so.
It's Des Moines. What have we counted on before coming from Des Moines in a timely manner? Nothing.
So, the thing is, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I'm trying to be optimistic, but this waiting game is terrible, because I'm in a holding pattern. I can't,
You can't wait any longer.
yeah,
Do you want me to see if Derek's available now?
yeah, yes.
So what we call him, IT,
Data processing.
we never call it the right thing. I just go do the damn thing, write it in, and if we have to rewrite it, guess what, we'll republish. Cause I don't wanna do last year's budget again next year. Cause really the state has no sense of humor.
And so with Eric's budget, you guys talked about his salary increase, so
Yeah.
that's why I listed it, because I didn't know what we wanted to do there.
Yeah, do you want me to say anything here, or I guess I can if we got time. I don't know if Derek's coming in or what, but I had kind of had some reservations when we initially talked about it, but I would like to see his raise come down a little bit. I don't want to make quite that sudden of an adjustment, but I know with the market factors and all that, I don't want to cut it down too far either. We need to treat our employees fair. So I would be comfortable with going to 120 instead of the 126 or whatever it was, some odd change that way.
It was just shy of 25%, I think, when it.
31%.
31.
No, what he's saying, the adjustment, instead of doing 126, we would be doing 120.
Okay,
So instead of a 31% jump, it would be just shy of 25, I believe.
thank you. Sorry about that.
That's like, yeah, that I think Josh repeated that well.
So refresh my memory, when he was in doing the budget the first time, what did we tell him?
126, that's what we told him.
I know, but did we tell him that was in stone, or did we say?
No,
No, you guys did tell him, because he needed to give an answer.
To a different job
Yeah,
proposal?
and you guys did tell him.
I know that he is aware of this adjustment, though.
Okay.
And I talked with Derek after our budget discussion. I think it was the next week. I had visited with him one-on-one, and I've visited with him a couple times since then one-on-one, and he very clearly knows that this is a big jump, and he understands we need to taper it down a little bit. And he was okay with the reduction that I had proposed to him. So if the rest of you guys are okay with it at the board level, he is okay with it as well. And he can verify that if he's around or whatever, but that was my conversations with him one-on-one.
Is that 120,000 even that you want me to put in there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you?
Or did we say
What
127?
percent was that?
25.
Just below 25. It was like 24 points something percent. I can't remember the
Take
math.
95 times
It's
that,
not-
yeah, you put 20,000 on it.
Out of the range for, for that position.
It's still a substantial increase to get closer to market and all that, but it a little bit, and I think that's where I wasn't comfortable with that right away because it was such a large increase in 1 year. But knowing the market conditions and the fact that he had been falling behind previous to that, that's why I had asked him if I had talked to him, like I said, about a slight reduction in that.
Is that the only thing on IT that we're gonna look at?
I think
Yeah,
so.
it was just his way. Well, we already approved hiring another person, didn't we? And that might be put on hold too with this budget thing.
Well, everything's gonna change then, Jack.
Yeah.
Then we're back down to what they got paid last year, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, no wage
No
increase.
wage increase for anybody.
Yeah, everybody will go back.
Yeah.
Cause you ain't got a choice.
We'll have to cross that bridge when we get there.
Or if they want to raise, then we'll just have to look at each department and say, who can you live without? One from the assessor, one from the treasurer,
Yeah.
one from the attorney.
You're pretty much gonna have to let someone go if you wanna raise.
I don't think it's because we haven't seen any of our final numbers yet. So I don't know that you can even really say that at this point.
What, that we're gonna have to make?
Yes, yes,
Hey,
ma'am.
are you available to come into the boardroom?
Yep,
Okay,
yep, I'll be right there. Give me one
thank you,
second.
thank you.
He passed his second. He said 1 second, it's already been 5. So.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
Who's faster, Superman or the Flash?
Who's the Flash? I never seen the Flash.
You've never seen the
Well, I
Flash?
would think
No.
the Flash is Flash.
Well, Superman had changed his clothes in a phone booth, so he couldn't have been faster.
No,
No.
Although Superman can fly, I don't know if the Flash can fly.
he
What's the
doesn't need
Flash
to,
do?
he just,
Oh, he runs really, really fast.
So this is a cartoon that's in the.
so fast you can't even see him, you can see Superman flying, so Flash
You
has to be faster.
can, yeah.
Yeah, but Superman reversed the rotation of Earth by flying so
Yeah,
fast.
that's true,
So I don't know if the Flash could do that,
that's a good.
Well, if he
point.
can run that fast, he would spin it slower.
potentially.
I don't know,
I don't.
it's a good question. I know it's
So-
not me,
So where did Flash come
Is there?
from? It's this.
you're just out of touch, Roger.
Is it in a,
It started in a cartoon, didn't it? Or not?
it's like Marvel, I
Yeah.
think.
Is it a Marvel?
I do.
Yeah.
Oh.
Character.
How we doing?
Oh, we're doing great. How about you?
Good. Are you guys recording?
No,
Well, we are for Kyle's, he's
Kyle.
just, that way he can go back and review it later.
Hey, there's moisture on your coat.
What out there?
is it still raining?
Yeah. I just walked across the street. All right, so what do you got for me?
Well, we were talking about the budget stuff and Kyle said he talked to you about the pay increase.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so you said you kinda.
Yeah, we talked a little bit, and like I said in the meeting before, I want you guys to be comfortable, and I know I put you in a hard position this year, so if you're, if you're getting a lot of pushback on it, then we can come down a little bit, so.
Well, it isn't so much that, it depends on what the state's gonna do.
Yeah, so the current bill, the levy rate can increase, correct? Or has that changed?
Depends on
We
which
have a
one.
new bill.
There's another one that's
Yeah.
going through.
1125.
1125, and that's.
24.
24.
1124, and they vote on that tonight?
No.
No.
No,
That's
they
just
vote on
entered.
181 tonight.
No,
Right, that's what
no,
I-
they
No.
don't, no.
You're right, 'cause they're already out of
They're
session.
adjourned today, yeah.
They adjourned today, so they're not voting on 181.
They're not voting on.
That's a
it.
House file anyhow. That have to go through the Senate.
No, it's already gone through the Senate.
Yeah, it went
Has
through
it?
the Senate
Okay.
first.
But even if that passes, the levy rate can still increase to accommodate the budget, is my understanding.
181, yeah, 181 sets,
That's-
readjusts our valuations.
Right. That's a whole different, that's because they made a mistake last year.
They
Right.
made a mistake in our rollback,
Yeah.
so our valuations will go down. That's what 181 is.
Correct, but it's, even if valuations go down, if we still need a $2 million budget, our levy rate would go from 13.1 to 13.2 or something of that nature.
Yeah, we can-
Yeah, but 1184 will,
Stop that?
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
When does that-
1124 puts a ceiling on a 1.25%.
Okay.
And a 3.5% basic.
Yeah, and can you guys hear me?
Good.
I mean, to me, the conversations I had with Derek were obviously before this other bill was even on our radar. So to me, it's not about the budget. It's about the proportion, the increase and all that sort of stuff. And I just be in favor of knocking it down a little bit because it's such a dramatic increase with such a dramatic percentage. And that, I mean, to me, it doesn't come down to the bills that are at the legislature or any of that. We could debate that all day and try and think of what they're going to do or what they're not going to do. But that's not what my conversation was based on with him.
And so what we talked to you about is taking it from a total of 126 to a total of 119.9.
I think we came out level at 120.
That's fine too.
Yeah.
That's,
Because that brought it down to, a little under 25%, so.
and again, if that's comfortable for you guys, that's fine.
Yeah, no,
You guys know I love my job.
Yeah, no,
Working here,
we're all saying that's okay, it's just, we just gotta wait and see what the state wants to us.
We're not gonna worry about it.
No.
We're gonna get this one published.
You're not gonna
When
worry.
are you publishing?
Well, I don't know, because we don't
She
know.
needs to have it.
Well, you're putting your stuff,
By Friday. Yeah,
numbers you
that's-
got.
That's what I thought. Okay.
You had no other changes then?
I don't think so. That's the only thing I know has been a problem this year, so.
Okay.
Otherwise, normally my first meeting with you guys and we're done,
Yeah.
that's how it's been in the past.
Okay. All right, well, we just
Well, we
wanted to
don't,
make sure.
we kinda agreed to give you a raise, and I don't like lowering that unless you're
I,
100% fine with it, because my word's good. I don't
Right.
back up on it.
So, I was super frustrated when someone approached me and said we need to reduce it, because I thought that we talked about it and agreed to a certain percentage, but I know it's a big chunk for you guys, and I thought we had an agreement at 126, but again, if 120 is where we need to be, I'm not gonna walk over $6,000, I guess is what I'm getting at, you guys. I did pull up the IT director wages for our region for 2022, and when I looked at 2020, which is what I brought you guys, it was experienced wage of 129,000. This year it's at like 136,000, so we're still not up to close to that range. So, and I'm just letting you guys know that that was where that was at for our region, so.
And it was discussed that, this is a pretty substantial jump for this year, and there's still that opportunity for years to come that we can
Yeah.
kind of step back into getting you back to market.
That's fine.
This isn't gonna be just a one and done jump, it's,
That's fine.
opportunities for future.
Yeah, not quite so blunt about it as I was, because I did think we had an agreement before,
Yeah.
so.
I thought we did.
Yeah.
And that's why I had approached Derek one-on-one. Like I said earlier, I was the one right away in the meeting that said I wasn't 100% comfortable with it. So I guess that's after some time to review and time to think on it. That's why I had the discussion with him.
That's good for you guys then?
Yeah.
That's all I
Thank you,
needed.
Derek.
What's that?
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thank you, Derek.
Yeah, I love my job and love working here. Anyway.
Okay, thank you
All
much.
right, yep.
Yeah. Thanks for all you do,
Thanks.
Derek. We do appreciate it.
I know you guys do. That's why I continue to stay here.
Thank you.
There.
But you're not held hostage either.
That's exactly right. So just so you know, I was super frustrated. I did apply for another job after I talked to Kyle, got an interview 3 days later, and they wanted me to come on site for a second interview the following week. And after talking with Kyle about coming up with a number, I did cancel that. So just so you know, I'm not stuck here. So
No.
No, but we do want you to stay.
I know, and I do too. That's
And we
why.
want you to be happily employed
Yeah.
too, not.
Yeah, 100%.
not- Yeah,
Anyway,
good.
okay.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Derek.
Derek.
I passed out the assessor,
Yeah.
budget to you guys because she had her conference board meeting, so I got her numbers all plugged in. Just wanted you to look at that in writing. She's got it all entered, so, I think we're good. I just wanted to make sure you guys had a chance to look at it. Let's see, the treasurer, I don't know what I could do. That's the same thing. And then Donna's, I printed out
What
with,
did you put for wages this time?
I put none, because you said no increase, so I
Do you
brought
wanna
it
call
down
her
to
in a
zero.
minute and tell her that? Because she called me and said.
You
I
can tell her
didn't-
that.
I had
Well,
no
I
idea
mean,
what's going on.
do we want her to come over so we can at least tell her in
I think you
person?
better. That's only fair to Donna.
Well, you're part of the decision too, so.
Yeah, but I wasn't in on that part of the decision. So,
She's extension 50.
Okay.
500.
500.
Yes.
Yep, 50.
Kyle, what do you think?
I agree it should be conveyed to her in person. I mean, I was one that brought it up, obviously, and it's going to be difficult at best to convey some of that here right now with being connected electronically. So, I mean, personally, I'd prefer to do that later on in person, but I just, with my situation, I can't be there in person. That's all there's to it. So,
I wish I wasn't such a party pooper, but
You gotta print it,
I just,
your stuff.
Kyle, when are you back? You're coming back tomorrow, right? I think that was a yes.
yeah, tomorrow. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. When you first start talking, it takes a second for it to kick in. So, is that something that you wanted to handle personally, or is it something that we should talk as, just more than one person saying that we came to this decision?
Test. So I was trying to talk to get it to switch over there, but obviously I was not the only one that made the decision, so it's up to us collectively on how we want to handle that. But with me being all the way on the East Coast here, I can't be there today. I don't know exactly what time I'll get back home tomorrow. The flight, I know the time the flight is scheduled to get to Des Moines, but I don't have a crystal ball. So tomorrow afternoon, I don't even know if I would be to Algona for sure by the time the courthouse and everything would close. Then Thursday or Friday would be potential options, but I don't know for sure how you guys want to handle that. So I guess I don't know how you want to do that. It's just my situation right now. This is the best I can do electronically.
So
I
I'm
think,
under the impression you made the decision to take it to 0, Kyle?
well, they all do.
we all did.
Okay, so then I think she deserves that explanation today.
Yeah.
It's
We're just trying to figure
whether
out
he wants
how.
to do it in person
Yeah,
or
we-
electronic.
Well, you're out of time to do it in person except today. Probably would have been nice to discuss it in front of her last week.
Well,
I don't think you're out of time today. You either tell her or we have to give her a different raise. My opinion, because you can't not do it in person.
I mean, Carter's not here either. I mean, I don't know. We could,
You
Carter, can you guys hear me here? Oh, now I think it's letting me talk. At the meeting, Carter had also shared that he had done research. Jack talked about the history and stuff. I don't remember specifically what Josh had shared, but I mean, the four of us collectively were on the same page and discussed it. We could have and maybe should have called her at that point in time, but we had already had the presentation from her about the budget and everything in person, and that was something I had brought up to review. So I guess it was posted for budget workshops. It's an open meeting, just like all the rest of them, and it's up to you guys if you want to handle having her come over today or not, but I'm obviously not in person. That's really all I can say.
Well, I guess my point is that either way, we're gonna enter zero for the wages increase for her. Is that what you decided? So Tammy can budget?
Yeah, that was what we decided.
So,
Yes.
That's what's in there. My question was, did you want to convey that to her?
well, I think it'd be a good idea to convey it to her, but I think probably right, Kyle should be here. You wanna do it next week?
Well, if she's gonna publish on Friday, it's a little late.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
I mean, it'll
but
come out on the
If
paper.
you made the decision, it's the decision, so.
Well, all that's gonna be in the paper is the max tax levy, not
Okay.
the whole budget yet, but, so the max tax levy will be in there.
I mean, I mean, it kinda, first of all, it's a slap in the face coming in asking for a 16% raise. That was really a slap in the face as far as I'm concerned. It wasn't even realistic. And, you know, her salary is still well above anybody else in the county.
Yeah, I mean, so I agree with what Jack had said, and I did research on a number of comparables. Carter talked about information he had gathered as well. I feel in agreement with Jack. The 16% request was, quite frankly, ridiculous. The comparables that were presented in that equation, as I said when it was presented the first time, were not anywhere near apples to apples. You cannot compare Algona, Iowa to Des Moines or Ames or any of the other major metropolitan areas that were listed on there. And quite frankly, a majority of the counties that were listed on that sheet were nowhere near our comparables. The only one that I found right away in the meeting, which I said that was comparable, was a county with 5,000 more population, the same duties combined, and a $20,000, almost $20,000 less salary. And that doesn't even the health insurance and benefits conversation. So, I mean, we talked about a number of reasons last week, and depends on how much detail you want to get into. And I don't know if this is coming across perfectly clear back at home, but we all had a conversation about it, and that was the consensus that was reached. So I'm willing to defend that now or later or whatever. I agree. The decision conveyed to her in person, but I'm not there to do it. So it's up to you.
Somewhere it was mentioned that her reason for the 16% was, it had to do with diapers. That 16% put her into a different level and gave her a bigger
Retirement.
jump in her diapers.
Well, it goes by the last quarters, and I forgot how many quarters it would have been. Whatever your wages in those quarters, it works off that
She's at
percentage.
what, 77,000 right now?
I don't know.
Just saw it.
I guess my question is, do you want her to come in and talk to her in person, or do you want to forget it?
Well,
No,
I think you need
we
to
need
do
to
it,
talk
just
to her.
depends
No,
when.
Yeah, we need to talk to her in person. It's just a
You gonna
matter
do
of
it today, or you gonna do it later?
Call her in, I gotta come over now, just get it done. I mean, there's no sense in waiting, Kyle's on the phone.
Yeah. Okay.
And I obviously I will try to do what I can here, but it looks like we're getting close to 1 o'clock, and that I believe that's when President Biden is scheduled to address us, which was a change to the agenda here. As I was on the way down to Des Moines, they sent out an update that way. So I mean, I will be going back in the session fairly soon.
Before you call her, I don't remember talking about this, but I have a note that we did. So you guys can tell me if I'm completely forgetting this. The safety coordinator, did we go over that budget with her?
Real brief, I believe.
Okay, because
It wasn't very long.
Okay, because we had 3,000 for the safety coordinator, which we have not had that in the past.
Or
So
we went over that one.
we did or didn't?
I
Statement.
I don't for that.
I don't remember it either, but I have
No,
it written down.
that was a statement for when somebody, the treasurers from Connie did it.
I don't think we agreed to no
We
three
never
thousand.
agreed to know, just,
I don't
Yeah,
think
I
we
don't-
did.
we just gave her, we just put that on with her other duties because we felt like she,
Yeah.
you know, she was getting paid enough. that,
Right.
You know, she needed.
I
to
don't
make
think we
sure-
ever agreed on a
No, we
stipend.
didn't, no.
So I need to take that off?
Yeah. You want me to call Don, you want to buzz Donna and have her come over then?
Yeah, 500, right?
Yes.
If she wants to.
Hey, we're going over some budget stuff, if you wouldn't mind coming over. All right, thank you.
She did get a raise the last 2 years, or was it just last year?
Look.
Because we originally cut it down to like 70,000, now she's got to put 77,000 in.
I was thinking I had,
Yeah,
where did I put that?
she did get one last year and the year before.
She got a raise the last 2 years.
And then we cut it the year before that.
For that cut, but she's about back up to where she was.
Right. She's about even.
That was the sheet she gave us.
Oh wait, that's, I'm in the wrong department again. How do I keep doing
Are you following the alphabet?
that? What?
Said, are you following the alphabet?
No. I'm having problems like Roger does. So
It's
yeah,
called A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
in 21, 22, she did not get a raise. So she got one 22, 23. But not in 21, 22.
She got caught up to 19. Not quite. 18.
She's got it, I imagine she's thinking about retiring pretty soon, because her husband just retired.
Right now she's at 77,384. Yeah. She's at 77,384.
Hello.
Hi.
You got your umbrella with you. It's still raining, huh?
It's coming down.
Actual rain.
Everybody gone?
Oh,
We got
Kyle's
Kyle
Kyle's on
online.
the
Kyle's on.
Kyle's on the phone.
Yep. Trying to multitask over here.
Yeah, you want to lead off on that, Kyle? They being you did it last week when I was gone, I'll let you take over.
Yeah, if okay. I think you guys can hear me when it disappears that way, but I guess yeah, it had been brought up during budget discussion last week, and I had done considerable amount of research after the initial discussions. Carter shared research he had done. I know Jack talked about some of the history of the position and everything, and we came to the consensus of a 0% raise because your current salary is significantly above the market for other comparables that I guess, quite frankly, I think we all are aware of. and a lot of the comparables that were presented and the average that was factored from those comparables, I feel most of them, if not a good, well, yeah, just most of them are not really apples to apples. You got a lot of major metropolitan areas that are 150,000 on there, which of course significantly drives up the average. So I don't feel that's a representative average of Kossuth County at all, or Algona specifically. And when I checked with other businesses in the area and other counties that were similar, I talked about the one in the meeting that was similar, higher population and almost $20,000 salary lower for general assistance and HR. So I guess we had a discussion last week and that was the consensus that was reached.
Well, thanks for at least letting me come over, but it's pretty disheartening to hear it in the hallways and from the community, so that's a little awkward there. Trying to digest some of your information. So basically, I'm overpaid. How's my performance?
It takes a minute to.
Performance is great. There's nothing bad, but it has nothing, that's not the
So
issue.
6 years, I can be froze. I'm not even at.
Well, you got to raise 5.5%.
Yeah, I'm not even back to what I was at
There you are,
2018.
you're over it.
No.
No, not when I
Okay, oh,
finished this
okay,
year.
yeah,
No,
from
no, she's
2019.
not.
5 years, it'll be 6, with no increase. Is there anybody else in this courthouse that has faced that?
But you have to look at comparables too, compared to what the other people are paid in your job, you've got to remember your job situation changed dramatically.
Yeah, I know that.
It went from a,
2 full-time to 2 full-time.
well,
I do the job the entire
yeah,
time
it
that I'm
is, but I
here.
mean, I can talk about somebody I know personally
Well, I know you
who
can.
has had 5 or 6 things dumped on her doing a job similar, and
And has she faced 0 raises for 6 years?
she's not even close to where you're being paid.
And that's not the point. Has she faced 0 raises for 6 years?
Can't,
Okay, 1 year I got 5.5. So if we're talking about comparables, do you know what your average increase the last 5 years has been for your employees?
what are those people paid though?
Well, we got highs and we got lows. What do you want? You can look at them. 17.5% increases. And then that doesn't include whatever you're giving this year, which I hear are double digits.
But are they coming from 40,000 up to 50,000?
So if I was making 40,000, you would give me a raise.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, to be honest with you, yes.
Okay, so if you look at comparables, Jackson County was your comparable. Supervisors are 40,000. I don't know what you guys are. Both the IT and the human resource general assistance person is at 60,000, whatever that was. So they're both at the same scale. So I think when you're looking at counties, you said you're not comparing apples to apples, but it depends on what apple you want to look at. I'm very disappointed. Do a good job, but that's it. And you board members that were here, the situation I was put in wasn't just because of myself.
No, because
But
things change.
Go at it, girl.
No, the things change. You went from doing mental health, and they took that all, and they took that all away and went to the region. And it was out of our control too, Donna. We had.
Well,
it
so,
wasn't-
okay, I'm not talking about that, but then we go and then for 2 years, I'm doing this job and I get a 0, and you're giving out double digits.
But yeah,
A
but
0?
Donna, you gotta remember, you know.
I'm overpaid, but I do a great job.
Yeah.
I'm
well, you're-
overpaid. And I've been here for 28 years.
Donna, we bent over backwards to make sure we kept your job. We didn't.
Okay, I
we-
know, but now
we
we're
didn't- we
talking-
didn't-
we're 2
we didn't
years
come-
down,
We didn't
Jack.
come, yeah, but we didn't come to you whatever it was, 3 or 4 years ago and said, Donna, sorry, you're done. You lost
Well,
your,
you
you lost your.
needed something, you did cut my salary, so I accepted that consequence. So other jobs, if other people lose some of their roles in the county, where are the cuts there?
Well,
Are you adding?
Well, it hasn't, I don't know of a situation where
we
that
don't-
happened before as drastically as it
Well, I
did
believe
here.
it's in the works.
What's that?
People some of their job duties are changing.
Do you know who specifically?
Bringing up names, if you guys can think about it.
I don't know.
You're
I don't
changing
know.
positions for individuals. And I hate to talk about people because I think that's what I'm frustrated about. This can be shared in here, but then I hear it on the street. From non-county people, not from you guys. That's acceptable?
Well, I mean, we're doing.
When I left here, you talked about, 3 of you said 12%, okay, whatever. But you said, but you gotta realize outside those doors what they're gonna think. But then who's telling them outside those doors when I don't hear about it for a week and a half later? And then I have to come over here and hear the 0. You can't, that's just acceptable. So performance is okay.
Yeah.
My job, I'm overpaid for the market. Nobody else is overpaid for the market in this area. In comparison to statewide averages, or in comparisons to their position.
None that come to the top of my head right off.
Okay, well, you guys need to do some reevaluating of some things and look. Because I feel like I'm being targeted.
No, you're not, Don, I know. and
No,
I-
I'm being
Well,
targeted.
yeah, I
0% when you can't tell
I
me.
feel bad that you're taking it personal, but it's nothing to do with the person. Donna, we've been over backwards to keep your job for it.
Well, I'm glad, thank you.
And you
And
could,
I've
I
been
mean, you
over
could.
backwards to do my job.
You are, but you could have been out of a job.
You
5
need a
years
general
ago.
assistance person, so you could, yes. I just gave you a Jackson County, and then I gave you the increases that have been given in the last 5 years to the entire courthouse. Their secondary roads is probably at 10 or 8 to 10%. Average is, like I said, 17.5. Most of those are 20, because when you do average everything, it does shake out. And then there's the big 35s.
I said, most of these are substantially less than what you're paid now.
So we're gonna compare everybody, then why isn't everybody at the same pay scale here?
Because different jobs demand different pay scales.
Okay,
Well, are you,
thank you.
well, yeah,
So, education, I have 2 degrees. I have a human services degree and a human resource degree. Some of those jobs require high school, and I hate to pick on these people. I think we have employees that are doing a good job. So this is not all about me. I think you're pulling at different things.
it's not about you, it's about the job and what the job.
Yes, the
did
job,
and
I'm
what-
overpaid for the job. Nobody else, no other job. When you look at some of these other positions and years of service, and then you can go back and forth, and some of these people have been here less and they make more. That's not my thing. And I know you guys
But
only
again,
have
Donna,
very,
we didn't say that your job changed down and you're done.
we're done with that. We talked about that. We
Okay,
know
well, that's
that.
what I'm trying
But
to
I
get this.
thank you for that. We're talking about
You've maintained your
today.
job and your pay for the last 3 or 4 or 5 years. And
And I did nothing. I just was
No,
hanging out,
that's not the
filing my
case, Donna.
fingernails.
I know you're taking it personal, but that's
I
not the
know,
case.
I'm trying to prove a point that I
Well,
think you
yes,
guys
and
are,
we're trying
that
to
you are
explain
being
it to you.
personal.
We're trying to explain it to
One
you.
person in this courthouse, one person because of a position.
Would you rather been let go 5 years ago?
I'm talking way too much. I think this
No,
is
you're
on
not.
you.
But we're
I
trying,
think you
I'm
need to
trying.
look at your culture of your employees and how you treat your employees. very sad to say zero.
I think our employees are treated very well.
One, okay, then I'm not, then we are back to me.
You are being treated, you've been treated well.
Okay, so I'm gonna be forever stuck here, there's nothing I can do to change my wage, because I'm overpaid for however long I stay.
We're
That's
not
it?
saying that.
Well, I'm getting that impression. I don't know what I can do differently. So I've asked you if it was performance. Until the standard, what is the standard then? What is the standard HR general assistance?
I don't think there is one,
Well, we're using that.
yeah, but I don't think there is such a thing.
Well, like I said, I can only speak for one that I know that's doing probably more jobs than what you're currently doing, and I think she's only.
I would not pick on her, and I don't know how.
I'm
you
just
say
doing
that she's
a
more. How do
comparable.
we
I'm
know?
doing a comparable.
Okay.
And she's paid $17,000 a year less than you are, doing 2 or 3 more jobs than what you're doing. And not near the benefits, having to pay paying $400 or $500 a month for insurance, no IPers.
So we're gonna start comparing to community people, and then are we doing that universally throughout the courthouse, or just my position?
We do comparables all the time throughout when we do, when the
Have you
compensation
done that
board
for
comes
every
in.
other position in this county?
Yes, we do it with the
I just gave
union.
you some right now.
We do it with the
Jackson
union.
County, your IT is paying, they're paying 6,000 or 60,000. And I respect Derek, and I don't want to use him, but that's not comparable. In the marketplace it is, he's getting paid comparable to what it is in the market. And I cannot believe that you're just using HR and Kossuth
But his,
County as the only
and
HR
that's,
stand.
but 60, I'm surprised they're keeping it because that IT position could be paid, he's probably, those jobs usually are, right now today are probably paid $150,000 to $200,000 a year.
I agree with that. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I think the HR market can be that way in the private sector too. Now, I know you've got an example, but there's no other examples. And that's the whole point of it is I could sit here, we could crunch data, you can say certain things, you can say you're not comparing, but you are. And so I really feel, I'm disappointed that you would say 0.
Well, I'm disappointed that you're taking it so personally, that we're trying.
I'm not taking it personal,
we're-
Jack.
we're-
I've been down this road so many times.
Yes.
I could spit.
Well, I know, Donnie, and I can say,
Spit.
and we fought hard to keep your position.
Well, thank you.
You know,
But
when-
now, I can just.
But you're trying to blame us for what
I'm not
happened.
blaming you. I'm saying I'm
Well,
moving
you are,
on. That
because
was in the past.
when the state came in and changed your position so drastically,
Yes, and you had that choice, and you could have totally gotten rid of me, but I said, and you did the 10%, I accepted the consequence, I was froze for 2 years. Now I am 17.5 average plus whatever you take into the next year's raises. So that's pushing what, 25%, 20%? Well, depending on what you're doing, because some of them are double digits, so we can average.
Trouble is, wages are personal. They hurt when you don't get a
Well,
raise.
I mean, they hurt my retirement, they
Yep.
hurt my current living standard, they hurt my IPers. And I've accepted that, and I feel like I've done a good job. But that's your answer. So everything changed after you reevaluated things 2 weeks ago.
Well, there was some more information gathered and other comparables that were looked at, and that was the consensus that we came to.
We could do comparables all day. And I guess that's still disappointing, because I think you're looking at the individual. I don't think you're looking at my position or my performance.
Well, what disappoints me, if you're gonna take somebody's wages down and do 0, you should have done it in front of them, not have it relayed to them on the street. That's the wrong way to do it.
well, and that I don't have that, I don't know how that would have got out to the street, and I sure never talked to anybody about our budget process.
Everything gets out,
Yeah, that's,
that's the way it is. today we can't change it. You made a decision last week, so, but I think
Did
you
you
need.
vote on it last week?
I don't know. I wasn't, did you vote on it? Was it a recommendation? What
It
did you
would,
do?
well, I mean, we don't really necessarily vote on anything at this point. It was a consensus between the 4 board members that were present at that time.
So the information you gathered was so intense that you went from 12 to 0.
I don't ever remember 12%, where the word.
That was the 2 weeks before when you
Yeah.
weren't here.
No. Because I never heard of any number thrown out except for.
Well, so then you missed part of that
except for the-
conversation last
except for the
week, but you
one-
made a decision not knowing the full conversation.
So you did relay it to the auditor to put 0 in?
Yes.
Okay. That's,
Kyle, did you have a moment to say something? He's chatted a couple of times,
And just
but I
so
don't
you
know if he's able to talk.
Just so you know, I did not tell Donna.
No,
I
she
am
didn't.
not,
No.
I did not leak it to
Okay, he
Donna.
says he can't talk now, but a couple points that.
well, there had to be somebody sitting here.
I'm just saying, it did not come from me.
Oh, I heard it in the courthouse and I heard it outside of the courthouse.
It may have been someone passing by the boardroom, and in which case I think we need to.
It's
That
an
would be a
open
different
meeting.
discussion, but yeah, I mean, yeah,
That's-
it's,
that's why I-
If you're talking about recording them next year, it's all gonna be.
Yeah, that's why when you guys make decisions like that, do it in front of the person. At least let them defend it. Because I agree with Donna. She said it's not personal, but it's personal. Anytime you talk about wages, it's personal. Because it reflects on what they're
It is.
doing. And I think you deserve to have it in person today.
Well, yeah, but apparently, I guess, I don't know, I guess I have to digest a few things. It's very disappointing, I guess, in consideration, because I don't know, so I'm overpaid and I'm stuck, and that's gonna be, but it could change.
Well, we reevaluate these, it could change, we reevaluate.
Well, yeah, you reevaluate it in 2 weeks.
We reevaluate every year.
it's a budget workshop, which means that it's always changing.
I know, and
It's-
it can
it's
be
nothing-
very fluid. I am
Yes,
not
yes.
anticipating, but they can be fluid, but not 0.
Well, and Kyle just made the comment too, that when it came in, we didn't really have a whole lot of chance to, 2 weeks ago when you presented it to us, that we didn't have a whole lot of chance to do any pre-research on it until we knew what numbers
So
were
how much
requested.
research did you do on all the other positions?
Well, we have comparables on other positions and stuff as well.
Yes, and
A
they're
lot of-
all over the board.
Yeah, and that's,
They're all over the board.
That's the
I know that,
nature
and
of
that's-
it
That's
is-
what I said, they're all over the board. But I think it's pretty disheartening to have double-digit increases for some and a 0 for others. Not thinking that the market.
okay, Kyle wanted me to read word for word. Said, I can't talk at all when it's back and forth like that. The job duties substantially changed. He said we had 0 time to do any research before the first discussion. We should have had time to do our own research before the discussion, which we couldn't. And I think that's it.
So is everybody being revisited? Because some decisions were made the day that people came in,
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
but
Yep.
I'm not. Just, I want to make clear, I'm not.
you're not the only one that has been revisited.
And are those 0s? Are my colleagues 0? I'm not knowing who, but, I mean, it's gonna be public information. Everything I handed you is public information.
There's no other zeros.
So everybody's either below the standard of pay,
A lot of them are, yes.
everybody is. No, everybody except me.
I would say-
Everybody is
I would
below the
say-
standard of pay.
I would say,
Every
There's a
single
lot of
one.
departments that we were playing catch up on, and
Okay, so everybody's either caught up or playing catch up except
I
me.
wouldn't say everybody's caught up.
Okay, that's what I said, everybody's either not caught up or is at the accept or level, or below the level because they're getting raises. I'm the only one that's above. Okay. The only one. I just want to make clear.
Yeah, okay,
And
I would
you
say,
have how many
yes,
to-
you're probably
The
the only
only
one that's
person.
substantially above what the job
Duties.
pay, no, not duties, what the job pay comparables would be.
So how much research should I do? Because you're comparing public and private. You said I should look at large. I should look at 15,000.
Well, the numbers I've seen, and most of them are probably around 60,000.
Correct. Okay, only 60,000, that's what you're saying, 60.
Let's
is
say the
standard.
most of the numbers I've seen.
And
are-
years of service and other duties, even wellness, is there, maybe we can dispatch, we used to pay for wellness, we used to pay for safety. Maybe we should be sorting those out, because those are things that I do also. And I'm gonna throw in there, you are not getting what you're paying for across the street when that went away, and I'm dealing with a lot of those individuals. So it's not that I'm just doing general assistance, and I've told you that before, and you guys are new, I apologize, and this is not my personality. You are putting me in this situation that I feel like I need to defend myself for the last 5 to 6 years, because otherwise you could have let me go. Why did you keep me?
Because we respected you and appreciate the job you've done and the years of service you had, and we felt like we wanted to do everything we could to keep you
So I add some
employed.
value.
Yes, and
Okay.
and you're being and according to you're being compensated pretty well for what you're doing compared to other people across the state doing.
You know what, those ISAC averages, yes, I gave that to you, I presented it, I thought I came up with at least a discussion point on what the average is and what the rationale is, and I think that shows you 17.5%, what you have given out for raises.
You're not appreciative one iota of the fact that you're still employed.
I did not say
Well,
that,
then
Jack.
why are you so
Jack.
upset? Because you're still employed and you still have a very good salary for what you're doing. I mean, I don't.
0%. Okay, I'm not upset really because I'm used to it. And that's what the point I'm getting to. I think you feel that I can be your beating person. No, I'm gonna say that.
No.
I don't think you've given many zeros in the last, or froze many people when they've lost or had job changes
But
and then added changes, and you did not add.
We have to keep salaries in balance.
We've done that historically for the last 30 years.
You don't.
No, I'm just disagreeing, and Jack, I'm gonna walk away here and I will digest what I need to, and I will do what I do. I told you that when I met. I do my job because I value what I do. That's on me. It's on you to tell me if I'm not doing performance, or if there's some other reason, or that you feel that you can conscious with
It
zero.
has nothing to do with performance or.
So why was I given the raises over the last 28 years? Why was I given those if I was already overpaid?
You weren't
Because at that
overpaid for
time,
this.
you had a different type, a different job, and that job, that
That
was
job
the
changed, so mental
competitive.
health, you do value mental health, and I should be paid more if I was doing mental health.
At that, yeah, when you were doing the mental health and on that job, that's what the.
That has more value than HR.
Well, that's what the comparables were, yes. Now your job, not because of us, anything we did, because of what the state did, your job changed. We could have either kept you,
And you.
we could have kept
I had
you, or
general
we
assistant,
could
and
have.
for your history, I had general assistants for 2 years maybe, while we were going through that transition, and then they added the full-time HR position. Which,
Yeah, and there was, what, a year or two in there where when you did general assistance? That was
just general
Just general
assistants, yeah, because
assistance.
that's the we've got our vulnerable people that I work with, and then we have our
But that
employees.
position was probably, what, the comparable, that
It was
probably
full-time
like
before
30,
you added it to my
30,000.
other full-time position. It was a full-time position when Marvel left, and then it was added to my role. And at that time, I did case management, mental health, and general assistance. Case management went away, mental health went away, and then we added HR. So if anybody else adds another job in this county, they will be, there you'll look at the standard, or how are you gonna look at that?
Yeah, every job we look at is, pay is.
And so when you added a class, and I hate Bailey, so she got a 30% increase when she added her position?
I can't comment on that. 'cause
Well, I know you
wasn't here.
can't, and I apologize. I'm just saying, I don't think we're looking exactly, and I hate to identify people because I feel like that it's not my job to be, you guys made that decision, that was fine, but I think when you added Bailey's a year ago, it was a 30, and now maybe she's not getting a raise this year. She at the standard, she too high, she too low. And I have nothing personal against her.
I think they brought her up to the standard.
She started.
But she added a position. So how did you divide that when we added it? She already had a position.
She was giving more, I don't know if she had
She also
a
started,
position,
she
yeah.
probably, I think she only started at 30,000 a year.
Right.
Okay, but we can't talk about when somebody started and then go back to a long-term employee. I mean, I'm getting confused.
It still goes back to.
I
what
should
the-
have
what the-
been,
what the-
let go of 5 years ago, and then I'd be okay.
We
You could have
eliminated,
been, but
we
we didn't.
eliminated the head
We-
jailer and gave it to Bailey.
You could have done it, but.
So you eliminated it, and how much was the increase?
12,000, something like that.
No, it was almost,
More than that? Yeah, it went from 36 to 54. Something like that.
I'm just,
Yeah.
there are examples, so I'm not the only one.
No.
But I think we don't.
We eliminated Elaine's position.
And her job was reassigned also.
Right,
And she
dropped.
stayed on.
Yeah, her
You
pay
let
got
her
dropped.
stay on, I guess.
Yeah,
Could have just let her go.
she's good.
Oh, okay.
Kyle says that position resulted in a net reduction for the admin portion of the sheriff's office.
Okay. So if you had a net reduction when you combined general assistance and mental health, because then you didn't have to pay for insurance. So there was a net reduction there. So I have been through that. That's why I'm saying, I'm having a discussion. I'm not angry, I'm not mad, because this is something that I'm not used to. But I've been through the administrative reconstruction and how there's been savings. Because you aren't paying right now. You also did that when Stacy left. You are no longer paying for her insurance.
Kyle just also said, and the sheriff is an elected official. It is his decision for that.
Right, and it's your decision to look at how many, 5 or 6 employees, truly, because otherwise it's boards. So you guys are truly looking at, because it's either elected officials, their deputies, a couple of their employees, and then I think there's 5 or 6 of us that you look at.
Yeah.
And I would say all of those 5 or 6 or above are paid fairly well in comparison, which I don't, I'm not saying I'm right, but I don't know that they're getting 0.
Thanks for coming over there.
Yeah, thank you. I'll do my job, but I still think it's very disappointing, and I believe that you're looking at it. Me personally, I'm not sure if you're just looking at it. How many other, I'm not gonna say it, but I think you guys know what I'm thinking. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Donna, for coming over.
we could let her go 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah.
Well, one thing I was gonna say, I don't know how well she would have taken it. If I was working at a business and I changed job duties, you know, for example, I worked at the casino over in Emmitsburg and I was a table games dealer, and then I transferred to a different position as a security officer. I took a pay decrease for that, and that's kind of the way I look at it, as it was a change of a job title. And whenever someone changes a job title within a position or within a business, whether it's up or down, you go to what that job title pays.
The people that CSS hired to be mental health advocates, I think they started at like 50,000.
Probably pretty close. You've been probably better off to talk about it in front of her instead of not, you know, because,
Who knows who's listening?
yeah.
Well, it's a management decision, it's not
Yeah.
easy, but you gotta do what you gotta do, what you feel is right.
Oh, well,
It is what it is.
Can't make everybody happy.
we done for
We
the
done for the day?
Well, can we talk to Doug sometime about insurance?
Yeah, I'm gonna go down to this after dinner.
I mean, I can plug in 5%, but sometime we're gonna have to talk to him about insurance.
Yeah.
Do you want me to just call him? See if he'll pop up here
He
real
doesn't
quick?
He doesn't have a spreadsheet done yet, does he?
No,
But at
he may
least
not
we
have a
can-
spreadsheet, but he may be able to give us a percentage.
May
See.
give us some information.
101, or isn't it 101?
Yeah, it's
I don't know if he's at lunch now or not.
Probably it's 12:30.
He can come back after lunch, I guess.
You know, why don't we wait and see what happens tomorrow in the legislature? I'll plug in 5%.
I mean, I'd say nothing going on Thursday, I'd come back Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, makes no difference.
I can't come back Thursday for sure. Tomorrow I'm busy in the morning.
Because I have to go through every department and change it, so I don't wanna do it twice, you know, do it
Right.
once and then have to do it again. I will, if that's what we need to do.
Well, if we do it, if he has it, if he passes this thing, whoever can make it tomorrow or Thursday or Friday, we'll just,
Let's
as
see
long as
what,
there's 3 of us.
let's see what happens tomorrow.
Well, otherwise, whatever Doug says, she can plug in too.
Let's see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully by tomorrow evening, we will know something. And then we can relax a little bit and,
But if Doug tells you, no, we can't do it at 5, you have to plug in 8, we're gonna have to plug in
and that's fine.
Kyle says I agree with saying what happens tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, well, we'll
Guess
see
we
what
wait.
happens, and we'll just have to get back, we'll have to come back in another day this week if we have to, before Friday.
Yeah. Okay.
That leaves us 2 days.
Well, we do it.
I would like to know at least a little bit ahead of time so I can tell my other employer that I need to be out for a certain amount of time, so. The sooner we have a date, the better.
Well, I mean, we could tentatively say Thursday, you know, and then if tomorrow everything is settled, we don't have to meet. But that doesn't help you.
Are we talking afternoon? Because tomorrow, or Thursday evening, I've got EMA board meeting
Well,
up,
it
so.
would have to be morning to give me time, because
Okay.
if it doesn't pass, then I'm gonna need time to get it all
8.
into.
Once we look at Doug after dinner. See if he give us an idea.
Why don't we plan? Then I have to issue an agenda 24 hours ahead of time too.
That's what we're assuming.
Yeah, so it'd have to be
Talk to him today.
Thursday.
Yeah, and then we're getting plenty late for you. I'd rather have you have more time to start putting stuff together. Because really, if you started tomorrow, you wouldn't have any too much time.
Do
Can we do
know what
Thursday
jam
mid-morning?
They're putting us in?
No, they don't have a clue, because they don't know how county government works.
I just
Most of
don't
those guys
like
have never
this.
had anything to do with county government. They got elected to the state house, they don't have a clue what goes on.
Yeah, not a lot of them will go through being a supervisor
No, they don't
first.
have a clue what happens at the county level.
Kyle's asking Thursday mid-morning,
Yeah, why don't we plan on
10.
10 o'clock on Thursday? If tomorrow night it would pass, then we can cancel it,
Okay.
but 10 o'clock on Thursday.
Wednesday, tomorrow could pass it.
Well, we can't do 10 o'clock tomorrow
No.
because it's not 24 hours.
No, I see what you mean.
So if we were to do it tomorrow, we'd have to do it in the afternoon, which,
Fine with me too.
Let's just wait till Thursday because they're not gonna meet till tomorrow afternoon, I don't think,
Oh,
anyway.
okay.
So let's.
Kyle agrees with 10 o'clock.
Thursday.
Okay.
All right.
I won't be here.
You
No,
won't?
that'd be 4. How many is 3?
I'm bumming.
You'll be here
Yeah,
Thursday?
yeah, I could be there.
Kyle said he's gonna be here Thursday.
Yep, works for Kyle, so that's 3 of us at least. Do you want to call Carter and, okay.
Yeah,
We can,
I'll tell them.
Oh, yeah. Thankless job.
Yeah.
It is. It is, but we do it for
Makes
the
it
county,
interesting.
right?
Well.
We do it for the
somewhere
county.
else, maybe, I
We don't do it for ourselves, we do it for the county.
They're nothing.
All right, see you Thursday then, not before.
See ya.
Thank you.